Move It, the GBMA way. A safe manual handling guide for the plasterboard industry. Gypsum Board Manufacturers Australasia, or GBMA, is the industry body for plasterboard manufacturers. Member companies include CSR, Boral, Lafarge, BGC of Australia, and Winstone Wallboards of New Zealand. GBMA recognises that manual handling tasks are one of the most common causes of injury in the plasterboard industry. So what is manual handling? Do you lift, lower, push, pull, carry, move, hold or restrain objects? Do you do repetitive work tasks such as filling buckets in the acrylics plant over long periods of time? Do you get into awkward positions, bending over while picking up compounds or changing paper tapes? These are all manual handling tasks which involve using your own muscular strength to move or support an object, rather than using machinery or equipment to bear the load. Let's take a look at how your body works and how a manual handling injury can affect you. The back is our body's central framework, and everything stops when it goes wrong. Generally speaking, if you damage your back, you are 50% more likely to do it again. And if you damage your back twice, you are 75% more likely to hurt it once more. Your spine provides your body with structural support and protects your spinal cord. It consists of 33 bones known as vertebrae, which are stacked one on top of the other. Between each vertebra is a spongy cushion called a disc that absorbs the shock created when you walk, run or move. These are supported by ligaments which join bone to bone, while tendons attach muscles to the spine and allow your muscles to move your spine. Over time, gradual wear and tear on your joints, ligaments, tendons, muscles and spinal discs may cause musculoskeletal problems, known medically as chronic back pain, tendinitis, joint degeneration and muscle strains. When you have a manual handling injury, your quality of life is affected. Everyday tasks like fishing, playing with your kids, and hanging washing on the line are no longer easy to do. Manual handling injuries do not discriminate. Being young doesn't protect you from injury. In fact, the longer you place wear and tear on your body, the more likely you are to negatively impact your quality of life. What are strains and sprains? A strain is a muscular injury that can result from manual handling activities. Sprains are injuries that can occur to ligaments and tendons. These injuries can occur during your day-to-day activities. Sometimes, a single act of overexertion can cause a body strain or sprain injury. However, it is more likely to be the result of repetitive or sustained forces, movements and postures performed over a long period of time that are made worse from poor manual handling practices. Why are we watching this DVD? For the purpose of this DVD, we will demonstrate use of full personal protective equipment, or PPE, as used by members of the GBMA. All company branding has been removed to make this an industry-wide video. As manual handling tasks across the plasterboard industry are similar, the GBMA has developed this manual handling instruction DVD and accompanying training package to be used by all plasterboard workers. In this training video, you will learn how to perform your manual handling tasks safely. By following these correct techniques, you will improve your ability to do your job effectively, avoid incidents and injuries, and safeguard your long-term well-being. Under workplace legislation, employers have a duty of care to protect workers from workplace risks. You also have a duty of care to work safely, to not put others at risk, and to follow workplace instructions. As part of your duty of care, always inform your supervisor or team leader of any work hazards and incidents immediately, so that corrective action can be taken. Warm-up exercises. Are you ready for work? When you think about it, there is no difference between the athlete and the worker. Like the athlete, you need to warm up and stretch at the start of every shift to prepare your body for the manual handling tasks ahead. Encourage workmates to warm up too. Repeat the exercises again when you are about to lift heavy objects or as a break when undertaking repetitive tasks. Stretching at the end of the shift can also relieve muscle tension or soreness. This is very important as it can minimise the likelihood of injury and enable you to work more effectively. The exercises are simple and only take a few minutes. They mobilise and stretch the neck, legs, shoulders, back and arms. If you feel any pain when you are doing your stretches, please stop. If you have a previous injury, consult your local health professional to ensure you are provided with appropriate warm-up exercises. Shoulder stretch. Clasp your hands behind your back. Gently raise your arms up and hold for 10 seconds. Relax. Perform gently 3 times. This stretches your shoulders. Arm stretch. Extend your arms up overhead. Link the fingers with the palms turned upwards. Hold for 10 seconds. Relax. Repeat 3 times. This stretches the arms, upper back and shoulder muscles. Overhead arm pull. Raise your right arm, bending the right elbow, and touch your right hand at the back of the neck. Grab the right elbow with the left hand and pull to the left. Hold for 10 seconds. Relax. Do the same stretch for the other arm. Repeat 3 times. Straight arm shoulder stretch. Hold your arm out and link your other arm under your elbow and pull your straight arm towards you. Hold for 10 seconds. Relax and repeat for the other arm. Do this 3 times. Neck stretch. Tilt head sideways. Hold for 10 seconds. Recover. Repeat for the other side. Perform 3 times. Back arch. Stand with your feet apart. Place your hands on your lower back to gently support it. Gently arch backwards and recover. Repeat 10 times to mobilise your spine. If you've had a lower back injury, check with your health provider that this stretch is okay for you. Thigh stretch. Bend your left leg and grab your toes. Extend your right arm for balance. Hold for 10 seconds and repeat for the other leg. Do this 3 times. You can do these stretches at the start of your shift and when you are about to lift a heavy load. Also, at the end of your shift to cool down. Hamstring stretch. Stand on the right leg with a slightly bent knee. Extend the left leg forward. Gently reach forward towards your left foot. Hold for 10 seconds. Recover. Perform 3 times. Repeat on the right. Remember, if you feel any pain when you are doing your stretches, please stop. If you've had a previous injury, consult your local health professional to ensure you are provided with appropriate warm-up exercises. Manual handling principles. Now that you've warmed up, it's time to learn some manual handling principles to lift and handle products safely. Principle number 1, assess the task. What is the weight of the load? Are you physically able to move the load or do you need assistance? Do you need to lift or move the load, or can you use a work partner, an aid, or equipment such as a trolley or forklift? Can you break down the load? Are there any obstacles, changing surface conditions, stairs, poor lighting? Is the distance too far or the work height too high or low? How many times will you need to perform the task? Principle number 2, always lift and carry loads in the way you were trained. When lifting, carrying and lowering a load, it is important to use your legs for power like a weightlifter. Bend your knees and place feet apart to provide a stable support base. Get close to the load, stabilise your back and secure a firm grip on the object. Then, keeping your back as straight as possible and your head up, straighten your knees. When transferring a load, keep the object close to you with a firm grip. Don't twist, step around instead. Twisting and bending with a load can damage your vertebral discs and joints. Make sure you have a clear view and walk forward. When lowering the load, apply the same principles. At your destination, stand with your feet apart, then bend your knees to lower the load. Keep your back as straight as possible and stabilise your trunk as appropriate. Finally, release your grip on the load. If you are lifting from waist level to chest, there is no need to bend your knees. Just have a good grip. Hold item close to the body, keep your back straight. If you are using a trolley, push the load rather than pull. When pushing, you can use power from your leg muscles, keep your back relatively straight, and stabilise your trunk. Manual handling tasks. Let's run through several standard gypsum industry manual handling tasks and how to do them safely. Single sheet lift. It is recommended that you only lift within your own personal carrying capabilities. You are responsible for evaluating the lifting task, ensuring the travelway is clear, and making sure that wind is not a significant risk when carrying. To move a single sheet safely, slide the board out. Lift the board a little bit, shake to get air underneath. Stand the board on its edge and hold at the top and at the bottom, or place your hands on the bottom edge. Carry by having both hands evenly spaced along the centre of the board. Carry it close to your body. Two-man lift. When plasterboard needs to be carried by two people, a coordinated team effort is required to protect both people from injury. Where possible, have two people matched in height. One person must be in control of the lift. Never assume that an inexperienced person knows what to do. When filling an order, position the tower or forklift close to the packs. To start with, slide the board towards both of you, then flip, bending your knees to keep the stress off your back. The air cushion flipping creates allows you to slide the board, reducing the effort required. When carrying large pieces of plasterboard, always keep it close to your body. Carry the board in an upright position, holding from underneath. Change positions regularly to equal out the workload on your back. Lifting cornice or cove. Always wear PPE as prescribed by your site. Remove cornice bollards. Cornice or cove bends easily and are awkward to handle. Work together to lift this product. Hold close to your body to carry. Stand close together and turn the product over to its most rigid end. Put onto the surface and push it to where it is intended to go. Link the product so that it stacks securely. Compound buckets. Lifting and holding a bucket by the handle puts an excessive load on one side of your body. It also puts extra pressure on your hand when carrying by the narrow handle. Pick the bucket up with both hands, hold it in front of you and close to your body. This distributes the weight evenly. When you have two buckets of equal size and weight, carry one in each hand. Handling metal products. Always wear PPE as prescribed by your site. Metal products can be flexible, awkward to handle, and may have sharp edges. Place one hand in the middle and hold with the other hand low down for stability. After picking up the product, carry it horizontally. When stacking, ensure that you push it away from you on the surface. Get assistance when handling very long pieces and bundles. Stepping down from elevated work areas. When working at an elevated level, such as the deck of a truck, a conveyor belt or board handling table, get down correctly. This involves using a grab point so that you have 3 points of contact. Do not leap or jump off, particularly if carrying a load like a tool shoulder bag. Jumping results in increased loading on the musculoskeletal system. There is an increased risk of impact injuries occurring to your back and legs, including your knees and ankles when you jump, as the impact force can be 7 to 12 times body weight. The risk of developing a chronic injury in these parts of your body is increased if you do this repeatedly, particularly over the long term, as it can cause wear and tear in the joints and to the muscles, ligaments and tendons. Jumping may also increase the risk of slips, trips and falls. Dryer jam or block clear out. Always ensure that the plant is properly shut down and isolated. Before you commence, assess the severity of the blockage according to your site procedures. Use long-handed tools and get assistance from other team members. Ensure you position yourself properly to avoid stretching and twisting. Never use excessive force. This will ensure you do not damage yourself or equipment. General plant housekeeping. To complete these tasks, wear PPE as prescribed by your site. When working around live equipment, ensure it is shut down safely. Isolate according to your site procedures so that machinery is inactive and stored energy is released. When sweeping, keep your bending overtime to a minimum, as bending can be a manual handling risk. Bending can cause problems by placing unexpected, sustained, repetitive, or prolonged stress on the spine and the associated structures, muscles, tendons, ligaments, joint capsules, and discs. The likelihood of injury and degenerative change increases in areas subject to these stresses through bending. Avoid stretching under conveyors. When shoveling, keep the wheelbarrow close to you so that you can fill it by pivoting your body around, not twisting. Ensure that you do not overfill the wheelbarrow, as it will become unsteady and too heavy to handle. When the area is cleaned, de-isolate according to your site procedures. Compound bags. When lifting bags, make sure the product is at the right height and you have easy access. Pick up items with two hands to get a firm grip and get the object as close to your body as possible before lifting. Avoid stretching for an object, as this can place extra pressure on your back and your shoulders and can increase your risk of injury to the spine and to the joints, tendons, or ligaments in these body parts. The risk of injury is increased if you stretch whilst handling a load or if applying a forceful movement. When lifting from a lower level, it's important to get as close to the load as possible. Keep your feet apart, bend your knees if required, and your back straight. Keep your head up and face the direction where you want to go, with your leading leg forward. Keep the lifting movement smooth and free of jerky motions. Step with your feet or pivot on your toes instead of twisting at the waist. Twisting causes damage to your spine. Turn your entire body with your shoulders in line with your hips. Using stairs. When walking up and down stairs, always hold onto the handrail for stability. 3 points of contact will ensure that you do not fall and injure yourself. Avoid talking to others on the stairs, as this can be a hazard to yourself and others. On and off forklift and heavy equipment. When getting on and off the forklift or the loader, reverse out and always use a grab point. Remember, 3 points of contact. Step down, do not leap or jump off. Brace and swing. When using a mallet, keep one hand on the subject to support and keep yourself steady. Hold the mallet firmly and always keep your eyes on your target. When using a sledgehammer, have both feet firmly on the ground with your legs apart. Hold the hammer with one hand at the end and one near the head. As you swing the hammer, allow the hand at the head to slide down the handle to the end. Always be in control of your hammer and know where your target is. First story pass-up. Let's look at the right manual handling techniques during first story pass-ups. Always adhere to specific site requirements prior to beginning work. Designate a leader and coordinate your efforts so that you work as a team. Always wear PPE as prescribed by your company. When arriving on site, back as close to the house as possible to allow passing the sheets straight to the building. If you need to carry the plasterboard to the building, make sure it has clear access. This is to make sure you do not trip and hurt yourself. If access is not clear, call your team leader. Warm up before you begin this heavy task. Use a mat to protect the building and the plasterboard. Have a secure foothold when lifting, as well as a stable platform to work from. Lift the board with your shoulder, taking the weight. When carrying plasterboard, keep it close to your body. Use your shoulder for leverage. Carry the board in an upright position, holding from underneath. Change positions regularly to equal out the workload on your back. When putting the plasterboard down, bend your knees, keep your back straight and head up. Picking up billets, gluts or blocks. When picking up billets, gluts or blocks, always wear PPE as prescribed by your site. Use 2 hands, one in the middle and one at the end. Bend at the knees when the gluts are placed low down. Slide the block onto position rather than stretching. Never throw billets down. The force required puts you at risk of shoulder injuries. Only carry a maximum of 4 gluts at the one time and only lift within your own personal carrying capabilities. Cutting plasterboard. Always wear PPE as prescribed by your site. Assess the situation according to your site